Hey guys, welcome to Unlimited Health. Let's check out this video called, it's a, another Europe the First Crusade video, okay? The Crusades have been entertaining as fuck, but the previous one was really good, where, Christians fight for themselves. It was so angelic. It was so beautiful. It was so inspiring. And I'm not even a Christian. I'm a Hindu guy, and from across the world, I was seeing all that, and I was like, wow, man, the Christians are not like this today. That's what I thought. I mean, of course, you go check out, I'll put that reaction at the end so that you can watch it. I mean, you will see what I'm saying. I even talked about it by the end of that video. Christians nowadays are not, I feel like the Christianity has failed in the modern society. It has failed. I think they need to fucking throw away, I'm sorry, but I think they need to adopt another religion like Buddhism or Hinduism or something like that. The Abrahamic religion failed because the people, the effectiveness of a religion and its striving, if it's still alive and if it's still popular, then that means the people are upholding it. The people, the believers, are what makes the religion survive for ages to come. Okay, but the people don't. When the people don't believe and the people act crazy and stuff like that, because nowadays not many people are Christians. Like really, if you go check out the Western society, not many people are Christians. Not many people are believers. Not many people, they just believe in God, but they don't follow Christianity. It's almost, I also found out that Christianity is very hard to follow. It makes people force themselves to do things and shit. It's just, I feel like it's like, that's what I think. That's just my opinion. But I feel like if the people can't uphold the religion, then they have failed the religion. That's what I think. But we'll see. I hope they come back and fight. The Christians fight back and shit like that. But that's what I talked about in the previous video. But the previous video was really good. It was inspiring. That yes, Christians fighting as Christians for themselves. It was so inspiring to see. Okay, but let's find out what's today. It's called Siege of Antioch. Okay, by Extra History, Part 5. Europe, the First Crusade. Okay, let's just check it out. It's only like 9 minutes long. It's gonna be fun. Probably the shortest in the not the shortest, but it is short, and it's gonna be fun. Okay, let's see what happens next. And what happened to the Khilji guy that tried to the Muslim guy that tried to fucking destroy the Christians in the previous part? I don't know what happened to him. Let's just find out. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, and please, if you like this reaction, please subscribe to me, and please don't be offended by my if I said anything offensive. Okay, I don't know what I say. It might offend anybody. Okay, and I talk so deeply about politics sometimes, especially the Western society. I criticize Western society a lot because I see a lot of terrible shit in it, bro. I'm sorry, a lot of fucked up shit, and if I mention it, then they will start calling me a phobic or whatever. Stupid shit. I just want to say fuck that, but again, the fucking mob is gonna attack me. Fuck that. So let's just get into it. 3, 2, 1, let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Extra history.
After the Battle of Derilium, the way lay open to the south, towards Antioch, towards Jerusalem. But the Turks, though beaten, were far from broken. In their retreat, they stripped the land and laid waste to anything they couldn't take with them. And as the crusade moved south, the heat intensified. Kilij Arslan, the Seljuk Sultan, had ordered the wells along the path destroyed. And in the
Kilij guy, this guy just... tell him to fuck off, please. Like, really?
Kilij Arslan, the Seljuk Sultan, had ordered the wells along the path destroyed. And in the sun...
man, these Muslims have been in every part of the world since the beginning of times. This is ridiculous. I'm not gonna generalize all Muslims, of course not. But there's something about their religion makes them extremely violent. I've read some passages too where it says you have to beat or even go as far as killing if you want to defeat your God and stuff like that. There's some passages written in their in their book. Or it's just crazy, bro. It's crazy. I could be wrong, but I'm probably kind of acting kind of bigoted or whatever. But I'm just saying what I think, okay? But whatever, let's go.
Scorched plains of Anatolia, thirst began to stalk the ranks of the Crusade. Parched animals laid by the roadside to die. Men chewed thorns for moisture. The Crusade left a trail of the dead. But finally, the Crusade crossed into the fertile valleys of Iconium, where they restocked and made the trek across to Heraclea.
Man.
Here, the
Okay.
Council of Princes met to discuss their next move. Two paths lay open to them. One dangerous but quicker through the Taurus Mountains, and the other a slower but less risky path over the confusingly named Anti-Taurus Mountains. The majority of the army chose to follow the safer route, but Tancred and Baldwin set out on the harder trek. Tancred brought a few hundred knights with him, while Baldwin detached over 2,000 soldiers from his brother Godfrey's army for the adventure. Tancred's group set off first, and soon came upon the port town of Tarsus. After quickly driving the garrison back into the city, he realized he had a problem. He had nowhere near enough men to take a walled city like Tarsus. So Tancred sent word back to his uncle Bohemond to send along reinforcement. But as the rider was heading back to the main force with the message, Tancred had a flash of brilliance. He quickly had his men surround the town and make it look like they were preparing for a siege. Then he sent word to the Turkish garrison that he was but the vanguard of an enormous force of Crusaders who would soon sweep over Tarsus and do horrible things to any Turks defending its walls. Most of the Turkish garrison quietly snuck out of the town that night. The rest offered to surrender in the morning. Now, you remember a couple episodes ago how Tancred had managed to slip through Constantinople without swearing an oath to the Byzantine emperor? Well, the garrison flew Tancred's banner over the town, and he declared it his city. This lasted all about 15 minutes before Baldwin arrived. Baldwin, who was much less concerned with subtlety, and apparently oaths, saw the banner and basically said, "Hey, what a fabulous idea. I love it. But I have 2,000 men, so why don't you let me have that city instead?"
No!
Tancred grumbled under his breath about how he had both beaten back the garrison and tricked them into abandoning the city, but he couldn't really fault Baldwin's logic. 2,000 was indeed more than a few hundred. So he packed up his camp and grumpily started to head east. With Tancred gone, Baldwin's banner now flew over the city. But guess who shows up? The reinforcements Tancred had sent for before coming up with that ruse to take the city.
Shit!
Now, these men must have been a little miffed to have trekked all that way for nothing, but
They're like, what the fuck is happening?
Baldwin, never a very secure man and never one to miss an opportunity to add insult to injury, refused to even let them into the city for the night, instead forcing them to take camp outside the city walls.
What the
then,
fuck?
to add real injury to insult to injury, remember how the Turkish garrison had slipped out in the middle of the night? Well, they were still out there, and in the middle of the night, they descended on the Crusaders camped outside the walls and slaughtered them as they slept.
Oh,
They
shit!
got a lot done at the middle of the night.
Wait, you telling me the backup that arrived died there? That's fucked up, man. Come on. Fuck this.
Night owls. As you can imagine, when the town woke up and saw a few hundred dead Crusaders outside, no one was very happy with Baldwin. In response, he heroically locked himself in a building.
And why would he send, Tancred or whatever away from the, he got 2,000 true, people with him, but he would send his, that guy away with his 800 or whatever true, people that were there with him, Crusaders. That's crazy. You should have let them stay there so that, you can have more. The backup was coming in. They could have joined inside the fort or whatever it is, and they could have defended against, the assholes that came back. Once they abandoned the fort. That's like, come on, man. You could have worked together. Why do you have to grumpily, divide everybody? This guy, I blame fucking this motherfucker. This dude calls all of this shit. Fuck him.
And refused to come out until people calmed down. Tancred, meanwhile, was off conquering the next town. This time, though, when Baldwin caught up and arrived outside the walls...
No, fuck Baldwin. Tancred, please, man. Don't let him in. He's a piece of shit. He causes bloodshed wherever he goes. Fuck him.
Things went a little differently. Tancred had augmented his force with local Armenian volunteers, and by the time Baldwin showed up at this new city, Tancred was well entrenched inside the city walls. So when Baldwin asked to be let in, it was Tancred's turn to say,
Fuck y'all, fuck you.
I think you get to sleep outside. But not content with letting Baldwin get off so lightly after letting their compatriots die.
Okay.
Some of Tancred's knights ended up charging Baldwin's camp, and the Crusaders started a brawl outside the newly conquered city.
Good. Fuck Baldwin or Baldhead, whatever. Fuck him.
And then Baldwin basically wandered off and abandoned the crusade. Baldwin headed east. He met
Really?
an heirless
What a faithless asshole. Fuck him. He just abandoned the Crusades. Fuck him, man. He was never. Fuck that guy.
king. He got the heirless king to adopt him. He promptly let the heirless king be assassinated. He ordered the man who introduced him to said king, who was theoretically his friend, to be tortured to death, and he declared himself Count of Edessa. And
Okay.
thus, the first Crusader state is born.
Oh.
And in case you're wondering, yes, Edessa had once been part of the Byzantine Empire. Yes, Baldwin had sworn the oath. And no, he was not going to give it back.
Oh.
And not to spoil future series, but he ends up becoming king of Jerusalem. Anyway,
What?
Tancred, meanwhile, rejoined the main
Oh,
crusade
come on.
and captured a few more
That dude is fucking scummy as fuck.
towns relevant to the
I
effort
would love Tancred to be anywhere, like really.
along the way. When he rejoined, though, the crusade was a bit worse for wear. Mail armor and mountain climbing don't mix, and the safer road through the Antioch Mountains had only proven to be slightly safer. At this point, they'd lost most of their horses to the heat and abandoned much of their armor in the mountains. And in front of them stood the great and ancient city of Antioch. A
Oh.
city founded under Alexander,
Oh.
made great by Rome, and fortified by Justinian. It was
Oh
the
shit, that's what I'm watching right now. There's a series called Belisarius, the great Rome general or whatever. I'm watching that series from Epic History TV, another channel. You know, the recent one, I just reacted to one, so I'm going to be uploading that as well. If you're watching this, it's probably out, uploaded now. But man, it's Justinian and, all that shit is in here. Holy shit. Dang.
the last great obstacle between the Crusaders and Jerusalem. But the massive walls constructed by Justinian were too much for the Crusaders. The
Oh.
walls, which flew off from the city like wings high into the mountains, made the city
Oh,
impossible to encircle. The massive stones and impressive towers Justinian's men had built were more than these Crusaders could breach. So the Crusaders
Oh.
decided on a plan, albeit one of the oddest.
I mean, Justinian was kind of crazy, okay? So I'm not surprised. He's the Roman legend, big motherfucker. And he's also like kind of weird. He's suspicious, is weird. He can kill you. If he suspects you, he will fucking murder you, bro. I'm just telling you, that motherfucker is kind of weird.
siege plans I've ever heard of. They were going to have contingents blockade most, but not quite all, of the city's gates, which would seem to defeat the point of a siege, but some of those gates lay high atop the nearby mountains, and others
Oh.
lay behind a river which would split the Crusaders' forces, so the Crusaders decided to simply block what gates they could and wait. But as the weeks and then months passed and fall turned
Oh.
into winter, the crusade began to starve.
Oh,
the local area
shit.
was stripped bare, so any foraging party would have to go far afield and risk being ambushed if they were to resupply the army. So the
Oh,
princes
man.
decided on a daring plan. Bohemond and Robert of Flanders would take a sizable part of the army with them to forage in force, while the remnants of the Crusader army would try to maintain the siege. So Robert and Bohemond headed off, but as their foraging party reached the tiny village of Albara, what did they see? A large Muslim army marching down the very road to Antioch they were heading up to forage. The Muslim force was as surprised as the Crusaders, and after a few minutes of everyone just blinking at each other in shock, the Crusaders, though outnumbered and laden with forage, charged. When the dust cleared, many were dead on both sides. There was no clear victor, and the Crusaders had lost all the forage they'd set out to acquire.
Oh my
but in one of
God.
the strange twists of luck that accompanied the First Crusade, the commander of the relieving Muslim force, who was never that into being a relieving force, looked at the casualty list and decided, well, so much for that, and packed up his army and went home.
Oh,
Antioch's
shit.
reinforcements were gone. The
Oh,
Crusaders
God.
were still starving, though, and that's not all. There were earthquakes and comets, even
Oh.
auroras, and Crusaders were generally
What
the
the fuck?
superstitious type. So after seeing all that, a lot of them began to slink off and abandon the crusade,
What the
including
fuck?
none other than Peter the Hermit. Bishop Ademar quickly
Oh,
hauled
Peter just left? That motherfucker started all this. This is crazy. This thing is too entertaining. Way too entertaining. I don't know if I should even be laughing at this, because this is like very important part of the history, especially for the Europeans, right? For the Christians. It's like, what the fuck?
some
You
of
know?
these recalcitrant crusaders back to Antioch, including Peter, and then followed up with a brilliant plan. He called for a fast to regain the favor of God, which is a pretty clever way to improve morale and solve your supply problems. At long last, and much worse for wear, the Crusaders made it through to spring, and the food situation started to improve.
Okay.
And then Bohemond got tricky.
Huh.
He convinced the leader of the Byzantine contingent that there was a plot to kill him. When the Byzantines reacted by going back to Constantinople, Bohemond accused them of cowardice and abandonment, treacherous behavior which he claimed freed him of his oath to Emperor Komnenos. Now, with another Turkish reinforcing army bearing down on the Crusade, he threatened to abandon the siege of Antioch unless he was allowed to keep the city when they took it. Godfrey and Raymond grumbled about this, but there was only so much they could do, as the lesser knights loved Bohemond. You have to give Bohemond some credit, though, because after this, he proceeded to lay out and execute a plan that not only thrashed the Second Turkish Relief Army headed for Antioch, but also inflicted a great number of casualties on the garrison. And thus, the siege survived to drag on into summer. Then the Turks assembled a third great army to relieve Antioch, this one far too large for the Crusaders to meet in open battle. But Bohemond hadn't spent the months idly. He managed to find a guard commander in the city who was bribable. And just before the arrival of the Turkish army, the bribed commander let the Crusaders over the walls in the dead of night. The massacre was horrific and indiscriminate, but by dawn, with many civilians amongst the dead, the Crusaders had captured all of Antioch except the citadel, which stood atop a mountain at the end of its long walls. Join us next time as the besiegers become the besieged, as we witness the epitome of horror, and as, at last, the Crusaders make it to Jerusalem.
Oh, man! Shit! Wait, let me
citadel,
see.
which stood atop a mountain at the end of its long walls. Join us next time as the besiegers become the besieged, as we witness the epitome of horror, and as, at last, the Crusaders make it to Jerusalem.
Oh, fuck. Alright. What a crazy... It's like whatever just keeps happening. Like whatever keeps happening. I can't even understand some of the things that just... There's no real logic to it. Anybody that's intimidating gets taken, it's like, dominates whatever, position he captures. It's like, it's crazy, okay? It's all crazy. And, I like the Antioch stuff, and also like the Muslims. They came back with reinforcements. They had a fight with the Crusaders, and then they just fucking bounced. It's ridiculous, okay? And it's a lot of fucked up shit going on, and it's always been, this whole series has been crazy from the beginning. It's all fucking crazy, man. First, the Baldwin guy, he was fucking annoying. Just ridiculous, okay? And, the next time it's like, we reached the Antioch, obviously, which was made by fucking Justinian, and holy shit. It's just insane, man. And the walls are probably... If you're talking about Justinian, the walls must be probably really high. You cannot climb that shit with a fucking ladder. I don't think you can. Okay, but yeah, crazy. Wow. And yeah, what happened to Peter? He just decided to bounce and then he was pulled back in. This is fucking ridiculous, bro. The whole Crusades thing, I don't know if I should be laughing at it, because all these videos shouldn't be comedic. They should be serious, and that's why apparently Epic History TV, another channel that I watch a lot, made a series on that. I'm gonna react to that after this to see how it actually really happened. Was it comedic and crazy like this, or is it crazy because this dude is showing us how crazy it is and how comedic it is, or whatever? Okay, we gotta find that out as well. Okay, but Europe: The First Crusade. What do you think about it? Did you like it? Probably got entertained a lot with this video, because the series itself is super entertaining to watch, and a lot of people died in this too, so I don't know if I should be laughing like this. I don't know, but yeah, if you like this, please make sure to subscribe to this channel. I really enjoy this. I can't wait to finish this too. There's like only 2 more videos left. Kind of feel sad. Not 2 videos, it's just 1 more video left. And the last one is shorts, so I'll probably watch that in the next video. But dang, son. Wow, what the fuck. I hope you really enjoyed this. And apparently Baldwin or something is gonna be the king of Jerusalem. That's fucking crazy. I don't know about that. What happened to the tankard or whatever, Trekkard or whatever that guy's name was? What happened to him? I thought he was good. I don't know. Europe, the First Crusade, Siege of Antioch by Extra History Part 5. Did you like this reaction? Please make sure to subscribe to this channel. This is my main channel. This will upload like once a week. I don't upload every day because I got a copyright strike on my backup channel, and it's useless on YouTube to do anything as a reactor unless you're like reaching millions of views for some reason. I don't know. I think I'm more entertaining than some of the other reactors out there that don't get that many. They get millions of views, but I don't get anything at all. So that's why I said fuck it, and I only show up once a week. But I do upload a lot of videos in that one day, which is today. So expect 5 or 6 videos, so you'll be thoroughly entertained. So please make sure to subscribe to both my channels. Show me support. My backup channels link is in the description. There's a lot of videos over there as well, a lot of political videos, SML movies, all of that. So go check it out. Subscribe to both my channels, and I'll see you guys in the final video, which is next week. Stay tuned for that. And you're going to be covered throughout the whole week, and you'll be able to watch all the videos. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this reaction. Please make sure to subscribe to both my channels. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.